Okay, tell me that's working, people. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Right, we're back online, I think. Let's just see. Are our audio problems fixed? I also very quickly need to copy this little chat handle into the new chat window. Just bear with me a second. Just talk amongst yourself. Someone talk to me about the audio. Tell me if it's working, because that'd be lovely. Anybody out there? Anybody at all? I think I'm going to go ahead and do the stream and pray that it's all working. I'll record it at the same time as well. Ooh, my CPU doesn't like doing that though. Okay. Yes, it's working. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. But, live TV, it's kids and animals and all of that jazz. So, Monday, we had a slap funk fest with Alex McGibbon on the bass, which blew my mind and some of yours as well. It was really cool. And then yesterday, I was supposed to pre-record a session, but had a massive problem with technology. Like I am doing tonight, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, we didn't have a stream yesterday. However, we're back today. I'll not waffle too much, but I've had some audio from Emma, and we're looking at importing that into this session now. Oh my God, my laptop's making an absolute racket. I think it's working overtime trying to record at the same time as stream. Let's stop it from doing that. Crikey. Yes, AJ, you can hear me as well. Right on. Let's go. Okay, so I was running this track last week. On Monday, I was doing an arrangement, and to sort of propel the track forward, I put some vibraphone on it. So have a quick listen, just to familiarise yourself with that. So you remember this jam. It just kind of noodles on. There's some little bits of vibraphone improvisation. Okay, that's that jam. I just want to remind you of that one. Now, this is where it could all go pear-shaped, and I think it's because I'm running Logic and Ableton and OBS and browsers in the background, but we're going to hope that when I switch over, we've got Logic open. Someone just hit me up in the chat if the sound goes all garbled again. But yeah, without much prompting from me, I got my inbox was flooded by lots of people wanting to do various things, but Emma just took it upon herself and sent me some audio, which is exactly what I needed to help me push this thing forward, really. So yeah, I think in the initial instance, she'd ripped the audio from YouTube and then started to create some vocal layers around it. So I'm just going to let you hear what Emma did, and then we're going to see how we can pull it into the track. I know she's at home watching this in Mallorca, blushing because I'm going to expose all the vocals now. So sorry for that.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. Yeah. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. Yeah. Loving you is such a crime. Why?
Yeah.
You make me feel
Got
so
that kind of
fine.
soulful.
I don't want
Thinking
another
all night.
I don't want another Yeah. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, so it had got me, obviously, because it's ripped from YouTube, it's got my little ad-libs as I was sort of singing along, producing it. And actually, I kind of like how the voices sound together. That might be something that happens when I start pulling this together. I'm just keeping an eye on the chat to see if any of the sound's gone dodgy, but nobody's said anything yet, so I'm just going to keep going. So we've got a load of vocals here. You can see we've got various harmonies, lows, mids, and highs, and a couple of bonus tracks as well, which we'll talk about later. And we're listening to them at the moment, like they've got some compression and some reverb and what have you. In fact, let's have a quick look at the compressors and see what they're doing. If we just loop a little bit, maybe this bit.
I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. Yeah. I don't want another lover.
So the compressor's not doing much,
I don't want another lover.
just little bits.
I don't want another lover.
And whilst it's lovely to audition the tracks, with these effects on, we're going to actually mix all this somewhere else. So I'm going to take all the reverb out. There's some EQ on the vocal. I wonder what that is. You have to. I've literally just opened this this file up. I've deliberately not played with it much today because I want to sort of have a play now for you guys and show you my process. So I can see there looks like there's some corrective EQ here. I'm not sure how much of this is to bring out certain tonality in the vocal, and how much of it is to maybe remove some sibilance or room sound. So we're just going to go in and have a quick listen now to this. Emma Lowe 1.
I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover.
Sounds like there's just a little bit of air that's been taken out of it. And again, we'll find that through listening to some of the verse, because that's where we're going to get the sibilance with no S's and T's, and I don't want another lover.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Oh yeah, you can hear it straight away.
You make me high. It's so hard to say goodbye.
So there's a bit of the room sound we're hearing, or a bit of there's something just on the voice. Is it the room? Maybe it's just where the mic is.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Anyway, it sounds awesome, and it's not going to need much. So what I'm going to do, I'm tempted to just have another listen. I might take the EQs off it. You see, I'm all about, it's nice to try and commit certain things to the audio at each step. So that you're removing options down the line. It's good to commit, but also Sometimes you need the flexibility. You want to be able to go between the two. I've not decided yet. So just in case it's not clear what I'm doing, I'm listening to Emma's vocal with and without the corrective EQ that she's put on. That EQ might save me some time later on. But I have got some other little toys that might address that sibilance in a different way.
It's so hard to say goodbye. It's so hard to say goodbye.
You know, I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to get rid of all the compression for all the channels, just because I'm conscious about time, really. And I'm going to, I know she's mixed these and panned these, and it sounds lush in my ears. But I'm just going to put them all at 0, and I'm going to export them out naked. I mean, as in with no reverb, I'm not going to be naked doing it.
It's so hard. I don't want another lover.
Yeah, so I'm going to export all these out and then bring them into Ableton. And I am doing this live, it could all go wrong. Take all the effects off and start again. No, I mean, you said you've got one vocal compression setting. I mean, I would say, I was looking at what the compressor was doing, and it was taking off barely, like about 1 dB. And to be honest, like if in doubt, I'd say anything between 1 and 3 decibels is a good amount of gain reduction. It's not going to dramatically affect the output. And at this stage, when we're looking at just listening to the vocal, auditioning it, that works for me. It's not too much, but maybe it's enough to make it sit in the mix just while I'm playing around with it. So yeah, if anybody wants me to do a full video on compression and how to use it, especially for vocals, I could maybe show you my vocal chain if I have any more time to cram into doing so. So, all right, the best way for me to export this, if I take this whole region here, and it looks to me like, you know, the bit of audio that Emma's taken from YouTube is chopped off the front and the end. So there's going to be some guesswork when I get back into Logic, but I think bar 3, is that the downbeat?
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Before we commit that, let's check that out against the metronome.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Okay, so it's not quite on the metronome, but I'm just conscious about time. So what we're going to do, I'll worry about lining it up later. I can always redo all this offline, but so yeah, I've got all these tracks, and I'm just gonna export. So what we got here, all tracks, 9 tracks. I've got these tracks, 9 tracks as audio files, and I think that will do it to the range that I've just created. So I've got export cycle range only, yes please. 24-bit AFs. Yeah, AFs is fine. Some of the effects are bypassed anyway. There's no audio tail because the reverb's off. There's no automation. Do I need to include the tempo information? Not sure. Looking at these waveforms, I don't think that they're going to be clipping, so I'm not having the normalizer on, because the normalizer, whilst it does keep things within safe limits, it can introduce artifacts into the sound. So I'm not doing anything with that. I'm just going to leave the normalizer off. And I've created myself a little folder called stems. And I've got I Don't Want Another Lover, which is what I want to call this track now. Right, in theory, let's see what happens. Export this. Oh, that was quick. And now back over in Ableton. Let's see if this has worked. I should have done a little practice with it, shouldn't I? I've got my I Don't Want Another Lover track. I've got all of these audio files here. How can we do it? Shall I drag them onto the timeline, or should we put them in clips? And no, let's just drag them straight onto the timeline. Love a good experiment. Okay. That's not what I wanted it to do. Does anybody know how to import a multitrack into Ableton without it lining up? It does sound really cool. Is it Command? Does that do it? Yeah, it does. That's what I wanted. So I've got these like lanes of audio here. Emma verse 1. Come on then. That doesn't look long enough to me. Oh yeah, it's probably trying to warp these audio files. Auto warp off. We want to unwarp it. I think this should fix it. Please, gods of live TV, may the odds be in my favour. I'm not sure what that's done, because that verse is definitely not what we asked it to be, is it? That looks too short. Oh no, it's done it right. Okay. Ignore me. So I'm going to move Emma verse up here, and obviously it's not lined this up right, so just grab the whole thing again. Okay, so we've got some vocals happening. Let's sort out the volumes on them, get them popping. I think I can just select all of them and see this gain here. Let's. What I don't want to do is blow it out. So if I expand, have a look at this audio, just drag this gain slider up. They should all start. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. It's so hard to say goodbye. Yeah. You make me high. I don't wanna. So the I don't want another lovers. Let's just kill off the source track for now. The oohs and ahs, because I'm just sort of dealing with the bits that are the sort of, we're going to call this whatever we're going to call it. I also think that the timing of I Don't Want Another Lover could be, I was thinking about placing it slightly ahead. I don't want another love. Right. This might take a bit of practice, but what I'm thinking is maybe that. Not quite that. I'll sing along to it so you can kind of hear what I want it to do. Might take a bit of tweaking. It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover. Yeah. I don't want another lover. I feel like it propels the song forward when it anticipates the beat like that. you can feel free to tell me off in the comments, Emma, if you want me to put it back on the beat. So we got boom, I don't want another lover, which is like the original thing that Emma had got, like the original idea. But I kind of think that it's nice, instead of I being on the one, it's kind of nice to anticipate the bar and have the syllable one, as in wanna, being on the one. So boom, I don't want another love. I don't want another love. Maybe. And, feel free to tell me off if that's not right. But I just feel like it's a cool idea for that. Just while we're here and I've got it in front of me, let's just bring Emma's vocal up a little bit.
I don't want another lover. It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high.
And then these little BVs. What we're going to do is bust them all out to their own channel. So I'm going to create another track. I'm going to call this BVs for now. These are little backing vocals. I guess they actually feature vocals, but whatever. And then what that means is I can... in fact, the other thing I could do is better than that. Can I turn these into a group? Group, there we go. And I can close this group down. It's a lot easier for me to see it on screen, and I've got one overall controller for it. Right, check this out.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. Make me feel so fine.
So they're just falling behind the beat, and I'm wondering why that's happening. Why is that happening?
It's so hard to say goodbye.
God, it sounds amazing, doesn't it? That is like this beautiful recording quality to Emma's vocal. It's instantly recognizable in that sort of pop soul genre. It's just dripping with like that neo soul flavor. So yeah, that's definitely behind the beat. So what we're going to do real quick, and it's because I've moved time around a little bit, is just try that.
Why do you make me feel so fine?
Come off it. If someone knows what the nudge shortcut is in Ableton, tell me. That's it. Good God. And I can already hear in the harmonies we've got I don't want another lover. That's like one at the root. I think there's a fifth and a ninth. Is it an octave and a ninth in there? Let's have a listen. Because I feel like there's a third missing.
I don't want another lover.
We've got an octave there, and
I don't want another. I don't want another lover. 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 I don't want another lover.
So we've got octave, fifth, and then the low note. So I've not the condensers all back there because I've been tracking somebody else's vocal today for a different project. But what we're going to do with these vocals is we're going to fill in the gaps. We've got root, fifth, and octave on top. I think. Is there ninth in there?
Damn.
Let me just make sure that ain't lying to y'all.
Another lover. I don't want another lover. I don't want.
Yeah. So, which is lovely. It gives us that like crisp pop BV, like backing vocal sound. And I think we can add some richness to these by filling in the extensions of the chord. So we can put in the third, we can put in the seventh and the ninth around it. And it's going to sound lush because I think when we're listening back to Emma's vocal against my original YouTube thing and there was bits of me ad-libbing, I think our vocals sound like they're going to blend well together. And, you know, all the, certainly the artists that I'm into were very good at stacking up vocal harmonies. Michael Jackson was particularly good. Prince, obviously, was the master at this, at creating a choir. So I think I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to do a vocal session myself another time. But I'm just pointing it out at this stage that we can do that here because we've got loads of room, and then having the blend of the male and female voice together is what really sets it apart, and it sounds like it gives more identity to the track when you have additional vocals working together, I think. So that's a little side note there. That's what I'll be doing with that at some point. They might need tuning. No. It sounds good. I think the vocals sound really nice. I don't think they do need tuning. I like it. I've not noticed any sort of tuning issues with them. And I tend to kind of leave little fluctuations in because, you know, that's what would have happened in the 70s, wouldn't it? Okay, let's have a listen.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover.
All right, what we're going to do for this first time around is I'm just going to butcher this audio because I feel like the I Don't Want Another Lover is like a response almost to this.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover.
I feel like there needs to be another line in the verse somewhere. I mean, I'm going to really quickly just to demonstrate what it could sound like is if I take that, copy it and just shove it back in here. It won't be doing this because we'll either get another lyric or I can use something from somewhere else, or it might be a response from an instrument like a trumpet or something.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover. It's so hard.
No, that's not right. And we're all, you know, just as I'm going to clean this up as I'm going along, just because it's going to save me some work later. You can just hear, and it's because there was originally going to be another repeat of this, a breath coming in, and I don't want to get the listeners' expectations thinking there's another thing. So I'm just going to dial that back.
I don't want another lover.
Ah. I swear I wish I'd started this this whole album on Logic. It's way more elegant for audio comping and playing around with. This is how we're going to do this bit. It's just going to happen twice. 2, 3. Is it that? There. That's all I needed to happen, I think.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
I promise I know what I'm doing. That's how we get around it, because then we keep the sort of realness in the different takes.
Take me high. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover.
I'm not sure what's happened, like importing this, but the timing is definitely slipping a little bit, so I'm just gonna drag this back a little bit.
I don't want another lover.
A bit more.
I don't want another lover.
Yeah.
I don't want another lover. Loving you is such a crime. Why do you make me?
Yeah, for some reason. Like the audio is just behind the beat, and I think it's because like there must be some tempo discrepancy between Logic and Ableton. Who knew? But I don't mind. It's not like I'm doing drums or anything. It's like vocal can. I don't mind a bit of push and pull, so I'm quite happy just to wing it and just sort of drag it around freehand.
Loving you is such a crime.
That's ahead of the beat to anybody listening.
Loving you is such a crime.
Still just ahead by a gnat's.
Loving you is such a crime.
That's it's nice.
Why
Yeah, here you go.
do you make me feel so fine? I don't want another lover.
Yes.
I don't want another lover.
Good lord.
I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover.
Okay, same thing's happening. So obviously, like, I've dragged this audio in from Logic into Ableton, and the original tune is slightly, I don't know if it's slightly quicker or slightly slower, but the audio is drifting over time. So the first, you can hear this is right on top of the beat. If you've got super keen rhythm and super keen ears, you'll hear that the first I Don't Want Another Lover is on top of the beat.
I don't want another lover.
Perfect. And then by the end, it's just drifted a little bit.
I don't want another lover.
But I'm leaving it like that because it grooves nice and it evolves over time. Okay. So just so it's a bit easier to see, I'm just going to, that's it. And then the question is, what does this mean in the grand context of the arrangement? Because we've got this like area here of vocal, and then we've got all of this. Now, admittedly, this track goes on for like some 4 minutes. What could we do? The way that I ended up with this track last time I was working on it is I used a vibraphone to carry the song from like through it, and that evolved over time using different beats, different sounds. But now with the focus on the vocal, something's got to change. And I'm doing this on the spot. I've not got any preconceptions as to how I might go and do this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's it with the tempo. The tempo of the original track was actually 83.81 or something. But you can see on Ableton now, I've knocked it back. The Logic one was in 84. This one's now in 84 to match the Logic track. Something's happened, but that's all right. I can work with that. So what do we do to make this into an arrangement? I could recycle the material and use it twice in the track, or it could happen. The vocal could come in somewhere else in the track. Or the vocal could stay where it is, and then it's like a vibraphone solo for a few minutes, and I can bring in little vocal snippets, so it's kind of like an instrumental almost in the middle, and then reprise the whole thing again towards the end, or maybe just reprise the I Don't Want Another Lover things. It's hard, because like traditionally, we'd go verse, chorus, whatever. And actually, this whole thing, it's I guess it functions as a verse, doesn't it? Let's just listen to it, in time with the track. Let's just give our ears a chance to work out what's going on and see what we can do. I'm going to pan these out a little bit as well.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover. Loving you is such a crime. Why do you make me feel so fine?
On that beat there, I already know that what needs to happen. So, it does it. I should have just let the track play it out. It wants a little stop. Gonna remove this note. And that one.
I don't want another lover. I don't want another lover.
And then it's what we gonna do. That bass has to come back in. Maybe the track, if we got rid of this bass part here, so the vocal's quite exposed.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover.
Yeah.
I don't want another lover. Loving.
Bass comes in there. For real. And the pad. We'll just turn it down a bit.
I don't want another lover. Loving you is such a crime. Why do you make me feel so fine? I don't want another lover. I don't
This is sounding great. I'm happy for the vocal stop there. And for something else to happen. These vibes, you can see where I just sort of fucked around a little bit with some vibes, but why don't we just take that initial boom, bloom, 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 bloom line that I put in. Cut that. Put it there. Maybe that will work. Yeah. Okay. What's everybody think to that so far for like the front end of the track? See, another thing we can do, because like it is like a mixtape sort of vibe, so I'm not like precious about it having like a contrasting chorus or anything like that. It's a vibe. This whole album like is going to be a vibe for, especially for these sort of downbeat things. And I'm just wondering if we have this material at the beginning, I don't want another lover, and then like we've got this vibraphone bit here, and then I wonder if we just take some snippets from the vocal and we get a scratch DJ just to scratch in bits of vocals throughout the rest of the track, so we've got like a pepper, like a smattering of whatever you want to call it, like an offering of vocal flavour. And then once we've gone through that process of like, it just grooves, I'm happy for it to groove for whatever that is, some sort of 50 bars of like... And then maybe we get the I don't want another lover thing coming back in. Sort of, hang on, hold up. If I copy that and maybe sort of bring it. It just sounds lovely, just as like a little like vibe running through it. I don't know if we can like, if it can just run throughout. It's such a sexy vocal. I'm so happy. I don't know. Oh, I know exactly what we're going to do. Thank you for sticking with me this far. Here's what we're going to do. So you'll notice that Emma has given me a couple of extra tracks. One of them, we have got the oohs and ahs. Sound like this.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high.
So that's material that we can give to our scratch DJ, and I have got somebody in mind In fact, I've got two DJs in mind if one of them don't want to do it or can't do it. That's the kind of material that would sound great, like if you're chirping it in on a record. The other, now, I've been wondering what the best way, like I've been thinking, I've got another song that I'm doing and I know that I want a particular sound on it. And I've never known the best way to ask a vocalist to put this on a track. Now, I'm not sure if this is like the universally accepted track title for this, but Emma's put Source One. And basically I've got another track that I'm doing and I just wanted someone to put some sex on it basically, but I wasn't sure about to go about asking that. Now I know that I need to ask for a source track. I'm not going to embarrass her too much by playing it isolated, but it brings the track to life when you got some breathing and some breathing.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
It's coming up down here.
You make me high.
So that response is mega, and if you listen to like the old hip hop tracks from back in the day, I'm trying to think what you'll have heard that on. I mean, even like 90s Prince when he did his sort of rap thing, you got a lot of that stuff, and it was responding to the vocal, but it was also part of the loop. You get these like extra breaths and moans and things, and you get the source on the track, and it was part of the loops that'd be recurring. That one in particular, that's just like instant flavour on a track. That if you had that like every 4 bars or every 8 bars, this whole thing it's repetitive, but it kind of contributes to. I think it does contribute to the groove. It's like being part of the rhythm section. What about the "It's So Hard" on its own? Honestly, you play somebody a source track and all of a sudden the comments get fruity. It's like it's refreshing to like have someone understand that these extra like little bits of vocal nuggets really propel a track forward, and to like include them separately in the stems is like an absolute godsend for me. Okay, I've just pushed that a bit too quick. Just try that.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. Loving you is such a crime. Why do you make me feel so fine?
Amazing. So, just gonna drag it back a nuts. Cool. Now, I'm kind of tempted to have this source track running through. Maybe not the whole track, but it's going to sound nice, like, for example, there, I think. No, straight off the bat. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. But straight away, like we're introducing like, you know, human sound. As soon as you put a voice on a track, it comes to life in a different kind of way. Emma, come out from under the table. Come on, this is the magic ingredient. This is the sauce.
Yeah.
I don't want all that. I just want that bit. That's all I want. And we'll put it. I want it to bring the beat in, you know, like just before the drums come in. Yes. I don't want to give the game away with the breath, so I'm just trying to use this little fade to butcher the front end of this audio so you don't hear the in-breath for it. And similarly. See how that sounds? See, it's amazing. And then that's when all the sex noises need to come in. The source noises need to come in at that point. I think. But just maybe like I can just dial the game back and put them in the background. Like just bury them. See, that sounds awesome already. I love it. And it's just like these little sprinkles of ingredients. That's going to happen twice. That last year, we don't need it. Just a little pause before the vocal comes in.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
And also, like I've taken the bass out for the front end of this verse, but we've heard the Rhodes sample and we've heard the drums, and I feel like we need another ingredient here to support, to say, right, something's about to happen musically. We've got a vocal in, and another episodic marker in terms of texture to put in there. I'm not sure what that is yet. Maybe it could just be something as simple as losing the beat. Maybe. Maybe.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
That's where it's going to come in. So all the time, it's just trying to find little ways to like excite the listener, and with different things that they're not expecting.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
And the other thing we need to do, because I've taken the drums out for the end of the preceding bar, so we need something that lets us know, like it's like replacing the drums with something else. So I'm just going to drag, if I go with my samples, I've got like I need a wind chime. Not that one. I've got better wind chime samples than this, but I think just for the sake of like getting shit down quickly, because I do want the vocal exposed, but maybe not too exposed like that.
It's so hot.
No, don't like it. Maybe it goes in that gap. What happens if we pitch that down a little bit?
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Okay. What if like a little finger symbol? Have we got one of those? No. I'll come back to all this in a bit. Screw it, I'll come back to that in a bit. It's just letting like the listener know where the downbeat is, but we'll come back. Just want to listen back to this in context now. Yeah.
It's so hard to say goodbye. You make me high. I don't want another lover. Yeah, I don't want another lover. Yeah, loving you is such a crime. Why do you make me feel so fine?
That little plugin that I put on the background group. It's a free plugin called Fresh Air, and it's by Slate Digital. And it like just puts a load of sparkle on the top end. It's kind of like a high shelf EQ, but I don't know, it does something that's more magical. You can put it on vocals, it sounds great. You can put it across the whole mix bus if it's like if you mix and you're mastering and you want some sparkle. I'll put it on the lead vocal as well. Let's put it on the lead too. So, yeah, we could shove the verse back in there if we wanted to. Maybe I could put the verse back in, like using the telephone voice or some sort of different EQ just to show some contrast. Maybe we could get James to put some trumpet on it here at this point. I'm not sure where this is going yet with the arrangement, because I want to make sure that I do it justice to the vocal that's been provided and to the rest of the groove, which was it kind of nicely lazily goes along. I'm up for suggestions if people want to put stuff in the chat or comment it later either on YouTube or on my Facebook page. My current trajectory for this one is to maybe put parts of the verse back in at this stage after we've had some like a solo section. I do feel like a solo section's going to happen because, well, I'm a jazz musician, aren't I? So that's going to go in there. I'm going to move on to another track. What time is it? Yeah, we'll do another track. I might not spend quite as long on it just because we're running out of time. So yeah, I'm going to save this. We've got a bit of an arrangement cooking. Thanks again to Emma for lending the vocals. We're going to do another tune with some like Emma vocals on it. So this is where the sound could all go wrong. Let me know if it does. So I'm just going to open up the synthy one that we did. Just bear with me. Just talk amongst yourselves. Is that playing? Yeah, we got that. And then back over in Logic, if I open up oh no, don't die on me, please. Please. Let me know in the comments if the if the sound starts breaking up because I'm messing around. I'm playing God with apps. So I'm going to keep going. Like I said, if something's wrong with the sound, let me know in the chat. But we've got this other track that I did, and it's the sort of it's this one. So we got that synth track going, and I woke up the other morning and in my messenger inbox, Emma had sent me like a little voice memo with the following vocal on. Like all the hairs on my neck stood up, and I was like, I said to my missus, like, "Hey, Mary, listen to this." Like we were like blown away by it, because like for me, I was born in the 80s, and there's some of the 80s sounds going on with my synths, but because I was born in the 80s, it means that I was like raving in the 90s and noughties. And I think that's like when house music had the best vocal, when there was like a song structure to the vocal. And I'm talking about Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Moloko. Tunes that had got a strong vocal hook and very clear. What's the word? Clear episodic markers to the arrangement, whether it's a chorus or a verse or whatever. So for Emma to send me this vocal over that sounds A, as amazing as it does vocally, and B, structurally sound for the piece of music that I'm doing, absolute dream come true for me as a producer to have such quality audio. So I'm just going to play you what Emma's sent me. I'll put a bit of the reverb and effects and things back on for context. This is not mixed, but so yeah, Emma sent me initially a voice memo, and then this whole Logic file, which is handy. It's very good to work like this because it just opens up in one package and all the audio springs to life. So yeah, check this out. I'll try and mix it a little bit as we go.
You can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing to give the thrill of your love. I'm not willing to be without you. Ooh, without you. Ooh. Day after day, I'm just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you. Nobody, 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 nobody. I need to be around you. Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you. Wherever you go, and whatever you do, I need to be around you.
Come on.
Wherever you go, and whatever you do, I need to be around you.
That is a fucking banger right there. And anybody who says otherwise is a damn liar. Right. I mean, the stacked vocals here. Hit me up in the comments if you know what I'm thinking when I listen to this, or what artist. I'm sort of I'm channeling when I hear it.
Wherever you go, and whatever you do, I need to be around you.
Like for me, straight away, it's got that pop, but dance thing, and it's like when Kylie Minogue went through that, like when she released all those bangers back in the early noughties. It's got that quality to the voice, which I absolutely adore. So yeah, plenty of toys to play with here, and you can see that these ideas have been laid out nice and easy for me just to sort of grab hold of in Logic. I've got there's like a verse here for that build up. There's nobody bit, and then like it's a bit more, it gets a bit more aggressive.
Nobody,
I think that's probably going to go later. I feel like we're going to go from here.
you can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing.
That builds up, and then we're straight into.
And whatever you do,
I don't know though, because this is almost like another verse or like some bridge material. I don't know. Maybe that is the chorus. Yeah, maybe if there's a bite, if I put the bite beat in there and it's like thrashing, that maybe that could just be the chorus. The Nobody But You. It's simple, effective, to the point. Down here we've got some material. It says nobody samples to cut up. Gorgeous. So yeah, look at all these treats, like loads to play with. So I'm going to zero the desk, which means that I'm taking all of these audio files. I'm going to kill the compression, definitely. I'm going to leave the EQ in because I think that is helping a little bit. Taking the reverb off, which is these buses here, and the delay. I'm worried now that we're going to have the tempo thing, because I've noticed if you look at the tempo, it's 114 BPM or 114.0025, and I'm worried that that 25 is going to mess things up, but we'll see. Maybe I need to sing a Soft Nobody track. I don't know yet. For me, I feel like I've got lots of good material. I don't know. What could it do? Nobody but you. And there's about you, about me through nobody but you. Maybe this. I'm calling this a chorus for now. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. So what we could do there is, instead, that's like a 4-bar phrase that's repeated. And then it's kind of the same 4 bars in a slightly different, like in a responding way. What if that thing is an 8-bar pattern, and we've got like another bit of lyric to fill in the gap? I might be able to grab some from somewhere else, or we could write one. But I'll just sing nonsensical lyrics so you kind of hear what I'm thinking. Baby, and there's the one, but nobody but you. Maybe, just like to fill in the gap and push it along. I don't know. There could be something that could go in there. Nobody but you. Nobody but you. So you've got like bookending each shit with nobody but you, and then something in the middle, maybe. But the other side is when I'm side chaining the strings and the it's banging, and you've got the, because in here there's no bite beat. If you listen, there's no bite beat. As soon as you put that snare in, it actually nobody but you stands alone, and that would work as well. As soon as you put the snare in, and I don't know, some other elements, maybe that's it, because we've got all the melodic information here, and maybe just the statement nobody but you, and it's got that Detroit house thing going. It's quite minimal, like it's as if someone's just sampled it and repeated it. So maybe we just stick with how it is. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud, little ideas that might be useful to anybody else that's writing stuff like this. And I feel like I've talked myself out of it now already. So has anybody said anything? Yeah, make it sound robotic or something warped. Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know though. Maybe I'm overthinking it because, like I've just said, the Nobody But You thing. It does sound like a little short sample that like some Detroit house producers sort of used and then regurgitated, and that could work really well. It does serve the song well. So, before I drag all this out, what I could do with doing so I don't have the same problem as before is checking to see if it's in time with the grid. Sounds alright, doesn't it? So it's just crept ahead by the time you've got 7 minutes in. But I don't want to change it and mess all the audio up. If the tempo... Save. If I just reset that to 114. Multiple tempo events detected. Let's just make sure that's not... I'm not going to touch it. Just pray it all works. Screw it, let's just drag it in and see. Ableton should be able to work it all out, you'd think. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, please go and check out Emma Rossi. She's about to put her social handles in the chat here. Right, I'm going to export these all out for us. Export 7 tracks as audio files. And go into stems, create a new folder. I'm just going to call this Nobody for now. Export the cycle range. No, we don't want to do that. Let's give it a cycle range. I'm worried. Oh, it looks all right. Now let's try again. Mouse this all out. 7 tracks as audio files. Nobody. Cycle range only. Okay, let's see what happens. The bits to the chop up aren't in the right place. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's just somewhere I can import in samplers and things. I get that. Yes, it is like Kylie's spinning around. Okay, hop on over to Ableton. If I go to my stems. We don't need that one because we got it. So, again, I feel like every time I drag audio into this, it's like I've got all my fingers crossed. It's like doing surgery on my own kids or something. So we've got nobody wherever right, wherever you go. Right. Can I just do that? I mean, looks all right.
You can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing to give the thrill of your love. I'm not willing to be without you. Ooh, without you. Day after day, I'm just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you.
Amazing. I think this vocal is going to come in later. I think I'm going to let the listener think they're listening to an instrumental with some like little vocal chops like nobody and all that. But this verse, I'm going to be controversial and shove it like after the halfway point in the song. I think it's like a nice little treat for the listener. Because before that bit, we can have other things happening. So, I'm still getting used to this workflow in Ableton, but I think I can just cut. Let's see if that works. Oh shit, not on that channel though. There we go. Thanks for sticking with me tonight. I know it's a long process watching me chop things up.
You can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing to give the thrill of your love. I'm not willing to be without you. Ooh, without you.
Let's put that fresh air on it.
Day after day, I'm just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you.
Nobody, 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 nobody.
I need to be around you.
So that's where it's got to drop. And we've still got another, whatever it is, 16 bars. So we're just going to do that. Will that do it? I might have to come up with something here. But basically you get this.
I need to be around you.
Nobody, nobody. It's going to go there.
I need to be around.
And then the kick drum's got to stop, hasn't it? It's got to. Not. Nah, there.
Need to be around you. I need to.
Let's see what happens if I bring the kick drum back to that one.
I need to be around you.
Yes. Y'all feeling that? Nobody. What a jam. What a jam. Nope, not that bit. I want... Oh, where are the nobodies? Nobody. Is it that bit? No, there's somewhere. There was a... That, nobody. Oh. I'll stop being a complete and utter fool. No, it's not that. Where is it?
Nobody, nobody,
That's it. Is that it?
nobody.
Of course it is. So, just gonna grab that. Put it here.
Day after day, I'm just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you. Nobody.
So this nobody track, it's got to have a different sound to the vocal. So we're just gonna have a few, play around with a few things. Let's just try the Ableton stock filter. Put a filter on it, a high pass.
Nobody, nobody, I need nobody.
Try the other way around.
Nobody, nobody.
No, don't like it. Phaser, we'll get there.
Nobody, 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 nobody.
That's not quite what I'm after. Head on over to Sound Toys, try Filter Freak. I just want some stuff on the vocal. Something like that. Something a bit like that.
Nobody, nobody, nobody,
Keep going, we'll get it.
nobody, 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 nobody.
Oh no.
Nobody.
I think the first one, and then it's not quite long enough, is it? That the sweep, the rate. There we go. And then this is going to get thrown into a delay, and that's going to build up. This is, what this whole section is building up for the drop, and the way to do that. Well, there's lots of ways to do that, but is to create this sort of texture that gets bigger. So if I put the delay on it. Let's see if this works. Now we're losing the sound. And that filter is like blowing our heads off with the resonance. So just dial that down a little bit. We're getting there.
Just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you. Nobody, 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 nobody. I need to be around you.
How's that sounding to everybody? Nobody. You're damn right. Okay, how we do for time? Well, I've got 15 minutes, or I can just keep chipping away at this. This build needs to be bigger. How can we achieve that? Well, if I go to my samples and I find symbol, I want a crash. I can start to listen to. That might do it. Don't know if it's long enough. That's quite a nice crash. I've already got a crash track. And then I can just simply, I don't know how simple it is to do it in Ableton. All I want to do, how do you reverse the sample in there? Oh, okay, do I do it down here? Nobody. There you go. Got a little reverse symbol now. And again, I'm just finding ways to build this drop up with the vocal.
I need to be around you.
You can turn that up a bit. I'm going to slow it down. Make it slightly longer. This might sound rubbish, it might sound great. Let's try that.
I need to be around you.
How about a radio crackle? I don't know about. I love the radio crackle sound, and it's like good for a lot of jams. I don't know about this one. I feel like we're in, like in techno, it's a different kind of crackle. I like using the radio crackle on hip hop tunes, or like funky house tunes. But I think like with this, everything's leaning towards that techno thing. We could try a crackle. Where would you put it over the whole thing? You mean like a little radio crackle one shot, or like a radio crackle? like background, because it's quite easy to put in like a vinyl sound underneath it. Excuse me. I want a whoosh is what I need next. Have I got any? Can I just type in whoosh? Or a sweep? Right, that is a super handy thing. White noise is like a handy thing to have. So if I just put it on a new track, because I'm trying to build this thing up, because I want the break to be, the drop to be heavy. So I've just put this sweep in. It works like the cymbal does.
To be around you.
Take the crash out. Does that work?
Around you.
Yeah, I like it. The other thing I can do with this is, oh, no, I'll do that later. We can sidechain it. So we've got this little vocal area. Let's just listen to what we've done with the vocal now, just to make sure it all does what we think it needs to do.
You can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing to give the thrill of your love. I'm not willing to be without you. Ooh, without you.
Maybe not as much as that, you know.
Day after day, I'm just killing for time. The skill of your touch feels so divine. I need to be around you.
And I'm going to ride the delays here.
Nobody, 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 nobody. I need to be around you.
I love it. And then we want the nobody but you. That bit, I think. And it needs its own track, because we're not going to have all those other effects on it.
Be around you. Nobody,
Yes.
nobody but you.
Awesome. So I'm just sort of, as I'm going along, I said that I was going to do mixing later, but I'm going to mix it a little bit as I go along, just because it helps us realise what it's going to sound like when it grows up.
Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you.
I like throwing a load of reverb on that, because the others have got delays on, but like swamping this in reverb does sort of take it to that, like that 90s thing when everything was a bit, you know, extra. All the the reverbs were quite big, weren't they?
Nobody, nobody but you.
You.
Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody.
Come on, this is good, eh? Just want to try. Guess that we've got the liberty to do so. Some other effects on the vocal, and I'm wondering about. Let's see what happens if we crush it a bit. You know, if we saturate it. Sorry. Listen to it on its own.
Nobody, nobody but you. Nobody, nobody but you.
So I'm just distorting it now.
Nobody,
Trying a few different presets.
nobody but you.
I love that.
Nobody but you.
That sounds like harsh, but you know, in the mix, that might set it apart. So listen.
Nobody. I need to be around you. Nobody. Nobody but you. Nobody but you.
Might have to EQ it different, but I like it. Just again, let's get it right.
I need to be around you. Nobody but you. Nobody but you.
I love it. There's a button here that says punish. It just totally crushes, the vocal. But it's nice because you can hear what's being said, but it's like messed up a bit. I've got the reverb, it's swamped in reverb, and that reverb is getting sidechained against the kick. So it's the reverb's getting shoop, 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 as it's going, if you listen.
Nobody but you.
Nobody. Then you want a little bit of interplay there. I agree, that crash has got to come out. I think the only crashes in this track are going to be reversed. I don't know if, maybe just duplicating that will work there or not. I don't know. And then we can get the other vocal in, can't we? The Kylie vocals, I'm calling it. How's everybody doing at home? You feeling this? We've got an absolute banger on our hands. Left. Let's pan hard left and hard right, and then we've got one in the centre, haven't we? I've not mixed these yet, but let's just see. Bit of phasing. Do you want to hear it one more time for context, and then we'll call it a day? Just for this section, because then we've got all the other nobodies, we've got all the other things we can do to this track. In fact, here's what we're going to do. I am going to say thank you for tuning in to us tonight. It's been lovely. It's just nice to play with like quality audio and play with it and get it sounding good. I cannot thank Emma enough for sending like just this amazing these amazing stems over for me to play with. We're going to do much more together, hopefully, especially over the coming weeks. If you like what you're listening to, then give my channel a like, give it a share, please, the YouTube channel, because I need people to know what's happening so I can build this community, and consider subscribing, and then you can follow this journey. I'm here till the end of January doing this, and I suspect I might just do some more in February because it's so much fun. Let's have a little listen for one last time. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks again. Cheers, guys.
You can take what you want, 'cause I'm willing to give the thrill of your love.